The main reason I think people lack a purpose or a mission is just because they're distracted. They're just in a constant state of distraction. That's all it is. Yeah. Like everything's trying to get their attention. How can they focus on anything?
Well, I don't understand how people aren't trying to improve. Like, what are you trying to do?
That's the price you pay. For everything in life you do, you pay the price. Literally anything.
The past 3 years, we've been chasing our vision to flip our lives around. From sleeping on kitchen tiles and eating stale ice cream cones to selling out drops, creating a network of like-minded people, we've built something really special. We wanted to create a brand that encapsulates the lifestyle of improvement. A brand that stands for the outliers, the purpose-driven people that are chasing their own dream. This brand isn't for everyone, but you'll know if it is. Join the SMS and VIP list if you want early dibs on every drop before they sell out to the public. You'll also get free items and discounts. I'll see you all there.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 1% podcast. Today we are back with a banger. So today we're going to be talking about self-improvement as a whole. Obviously on this channel, that's all we really talk about, and we've covered every pillar of self-improvement in each episode, whether it be fitness, diet, mindset, and it just goes on, but we've never covered it in an episode, self-improvement as a whole. So that's what we're going to do today. We've got everyone on the panel today. No one's missing. We've got Hayden, we've got Will.
We've deleted some Red Bulls, so we're fired up and ready.
And we've got Rory.
I've got the White Monster.
Pulling up with the suit.
White Monster supremacy.
Ooh.
Red Bulls, I reckon.
What's the occasion, Rory?
Feeling a bit underdressed.
You see what the thing is here is that I'm setting the bar of fashion. So from now on, you guys are going to have to obviously dress like I do.
Yeah, I know. I should have put out the suit.
Otherwise, it's just going to be a complete disgrace. So yeah.
Getting me hard, sorry.
What the fuck? Oh, bruh. But anyway, we'll start it off with Cope of the Week. For those of you who are not familiar with Cope of the Week, all it is us showing a bit of humility by admitting one of our wrongdoings for the week. There's a bunch of self-improvement YouTube channels and people just claiming to be this shit, but in reality, no one's perfect.
Everyone makes mistakes, boys.
Especially not us. We're pretty dodgy. I'm perfect. Yeah, Rory's perfect. He's the only one that never has the coats. But so I'll start. My Cope of the Week was basically...
I'm interested.
I know Rory's cope. I got one for him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I got a cope for him.
Oh no, are you gonna refer to me as
Andrew, no, David Late. Cope of the Week.
Right, so my Cope of the Week basically is that I haven't been training hard on legs since like the beginning of gym, to be honest. Actually, no. There was a period of time where I was training hard on legs, but then I sort of gave myself this idea and I had this belief that I don't really care about legs.
Is that a belief limit?
It's not a belief limit. It's me prioritizing entrepreneurship over fitness. I've always said I'm more of an entrepreneur than a fitness guy. Like, I'm just in the gym to look good, you know? And I've always had that cope where it's like, I don't really give a fuck about big legs. Like, as long as I just put in a little bit of effort, I do my squats, I do my leg raises, do my hamstring curls. Like, I've got pretty shocking legs, you know? They're thin, but they look all right. You know, they're lean, got a bit of mass there.
I'll tell you what is one bad thing about training like legs, actually getting bigger legs.
Yeah.
All the jeans that I bought like a few months ago, now are just like skinny jeans.
And like my legs just chafe like fuck now.
So I always had a bit of a thigh gap, like so they don't touch, but now they rub and I get
like
chafing.
the one thing I will say is like squats make your ass stupidly big, and I hate it.
Only you though, because you've got silly genetics, bro.
Dude, my ass is huge. I saw a video of me laying down with a wetsuit on, and I looked like there was chicks next to me, and I mogged them. Like it was fucked. Like I have bigger ass than chicks now.
No, I genuinely do.
I do. It's fucked.
Just grow your hair again.
It's getting me hard, bro.
All right, who's next?
Who's got a cope?
So, what's my cope? I woke up pretty late this morning because I went to bed at 1 a.m. because I was doing eating like Rich Piana for 24-hour challenge. And I literally had to stay up to like 1 a.m. just to finish all the food. And then,
You're a fat cunt.
Oh, bro, I had like 6,000 calories.
So you slept in?
I did till like 9:30.
Yeah, but did you get 8 hours sleep?
I mean, I did, yeah.
I wouldn't call that sleeping in.
Yeah, sure. And I didn't oversleep either. I got like 8.
Listen to you just coping away.
Yeah,
anyway,
fucking hell,
Rory, what's your cope, brother?
Okay, so yesterday I absolutely pigged out. Went to McDonald's, got McChicken, Big Mac. Hey, guys,
Too bloated.
Guys, I can't be on the podcast today. So, no, anyways. Basically, I got a McChicken, a Big Mac, 2 medium fries,
Why?
5 nuggets.
Why
So-
two medium?
Because it was a family box. So I got
Oh,
it.
okay.
Anyways, so, and my cope for that was that I was at the gym for almost 4 to 5 hours.
Why? How can you beat the gym?
I don't know how, but I was. So basically, what happened is that I was at the gym doing my normal push day, and then a mate caught up with me. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing pull." I'm like, "You know what? I'm not going to hit the gym tomorrow anyways, so I may as well hit a pull day today as well." So I did 2 workouts in one session, and by the end of that like 4-hour workout odd session, I was fucking starving, and I'd eat literally anything in sight. So I just thought, okay, well, there's nothing open. Fuck it, let's just get a family box at Macca's. And yeah, that's it.
4 hours in the gym. Bro, I get.
I think that's a cope itself. Like,
Yeah, fuck it. Bro, I get itchy after like an hour and a half in the gym. I'm like, I need to get out of here, man. It's fucking shit to do. Yeah. All right. Hayden, you got a cope?
Yeah, for normal people it's like pretty bad, but for us it's kind of normal. But like, I think I was on my 4th energy drink today. I know for us that's like normal, but for normal people that's like outrageous. Like
Yeah,
if I tell someone I have 2 a day, they're like, "Oh my god, what?" But yeah, just because I got up at like fucking 7 o'clock, went to work for a couple hours, and then I went to gym, and now I'm here, and I was tired, so I just slammed down a bunch of energy drinks.
I think there's nothing better for you than slam down like 5 or 6 energy drinks. Though, like people have got it all backwards, man. They're always like, I need to dial down on the caffeine.
My caffeine tolerance.
Turn your logical brain on, bro.
Yeah.
The more caffeine, the better, because the more energy you'll have, the more you get done.
No, I'm the same.
No, people are overthinking
The other
it, bro.
day, I went
overthinking
I went a whole 2 days in a row without caffeine, and it's not worth it. Like I was
No, what?
I
No
was
one's
so
ever said.
fucking shit,
No one's
like-
ever said that, bro. Pussies. Like I don't like. Oh my god, I won't live till like 110 years old. We're not supposed to anyway.
Yeah, no. Have you seen?
I'd rather
100
live. I'd
people
rather
do
live
100
60 years buzzed off my head than 120 fucking flatline Gs.
exactly. Like whenever you reach that age, anyway, you're basically
People have got it all backwards, bro.
Yeah.
I would rather.
It's half satire,
I would rather
it's half
destroy my stomach lining than like lose productivity. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck that, bro. Fuck that.
It's all about that grind set at the end of the
Come on,
day.
bro. It's all mental,
I'd
boys.
rather my blood be obsidian and fucking. But yeah, my blood will turn to lava.
All right, let's get into the topic of this one. Let's mellow it back down. So, first, I just want to cover self-improvement depression. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this term.
Q&As.
Q&As. Oh fuck, boys! I asked you
Timestamp,
guys.
Lockie.
Yeah, timestamp. I asked you boys on Instagram to ask me some questions, and we've got one. We actually had 2 really good ones, but the other one just got vanished from planet Earth. I just can't find it anywhere for some reason. Like it just got vanished from the app. I don't know.
It's the Matrix attack.
I think it's Matrix Attack, but so this is they're always worded really weird, but you've got to make sense of them. To what degree does defining your own purpose and impact affect the journey of self-improvement? Would you say it's necessary?
Yeah. Okay. So, I think so. It's basically he's asking.
So in other words, he's asking, is having a purpose and defining a purpose an important part of self-improvement?
I think it is probably the most important part because then
100%.
what else are you doing? Like, you need to have like a purpose. Otherwise, like
You could just redefine purpose as a mission. Like a lot of people get so lost in like, what's my purpose? There is no purpose. We're here to reproduce and fucking, it's at the end of the day, it's just what is your mission? I think is a better way of putting it. And that changes. It's not going to be forever. You'll have this one purpose and you're going to die with that purpose. It's like, yeah, your mission will change. Your mission will change for sure.
yeah, you go.
Well, self-improvement would be different for everyone. For example, I want to be good at surfing and, whatever that. And for you guys, it's what? Business. And for you, it's bloody looks maxing. It's different for everyone. So.
I actually want to ask that question real quick. So I've said in previous podcasts that I have like quite an obsessive personality, and I'm wondering whether that's me just being an obsessive person, or it's realistically I'm just finding a different purpose every single time I'm obsessing over something.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's just I do the same thing. If I really, really want to achieve something, that's the only thing I'm focusing on.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like to the average person, they don't really understand the whole obsessiveness and just absolute like laser focus and just tunnel vision of what you want to do with your life.
Well,
It's just a work-life
because most people they never find that passion that they really, really are into. Like for me right now, I fucking love the whole YouTube game. I'm just getting so into it and investing just everything into it. Like all my attention goes into it.
Yeah.
My entire Saturday was just spent either filming or editing. That's usually like that. But I think finding a purpose is by far the most important thing. Not even for self-improvement, just for life. Like what else do? You wake up and just fucking, I don't know.
Yeah,
What else do you
it's quite hard to think, like, once you do have a goal in life, or just like a purpose or a mission or a fucking path, something like that. It's hard to like think of what like life was like before that.
Exactly.
Because you're kind of just like aimlessly existing.
Yeah.
You're just like floating in the abyss, just
Like, that's what
being
gets me
human.
out of bed. If I didn't have a mission or anything, I would have no reason to get up out of bed and do anything.
I know why most people don't too. This will be huge for you guys. And I was actually talking about this literally yesterday to Jesse. I'm gonna have to call Jesse out in this one. Like, he knows I've talked to him about it anyway. But the main reason I think people lack a purpose or a mission is just because they're distracted. They're just in a constant state of distraction. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like everything's trying to get their attention. How can they focus on anything? It's like they got Tinder here, and then they've got fucking TikTok here, Instagram Reels. I know I go on and on about it, but that is people are in this constant state of distraction. That's all it is.
So that is why I've deleted, like, at the moment, I've deleted all social medias off my phone. And I noticed as soon as I deleted everything, I had no distractions. And all I did is just dialed in on getting this work done. And that's what I think most people should do, even if they just find something that they can do instead of scrolling. Just delete everything and you'll realize how much effort you'll put into one thing you're passionate about. And you won't get distracted.
Yeah, also, these people that like can't find their purpose, can't figure out what they really want to do, they don't give themselves time to even think. Because like the second their mind goes blank or there's nothing going on, they just fill it up by scrolling and just indulging in useless shit.
Yeah.
It's like they've never actually sat down and just done nothing. And
just think
thought.
about what Hamza's quote was: just stare at a wall.
Like literally, stare at a wall.
Well, even if they get to the point where they think of something, I know, like, heaps of people go, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like, of course you can't. You've never done it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to try shit, and if you like it, keep going.
Like,
You were stuck in this weird zone where you weren't 100% sure what you wanted to do.
yeah.
And like you found it now, but
Yeah.
you spent months just like in this wishy-washy zone.
ages.
It would have been pretty uncomfortable too. Like
was.
you're in this weird zone where you don't know what you should be doing, but you're told you should be doing something,
Yeah.
but you don't know what to do.
Like, I started this whole workout course type thing, and like I like that. I liked making it and everything, but it wasn't quite like me. Like, I like working out, but I don't want it to be my job. I just want it to be something I do to keep my head clear. And then I've always been into surfing and everything, and then I just came up, like, it just randomly hit me. I just came up with this product, and I was like, I'm just so involved in that now because it's something I like doing.
you definitely find it.
and I said like the only way to do that is just by experimenting. Like you just got to just start doing anything.
Fuck around.
Yeah, the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Like you just start doing anything, and eventually you'll just figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's like I had a bunch of different endeavors before I really found out like what I'm gonna stick to consistently. It's just like you just got to start doing anything, and eventually you'll get the hang of it.
I feel like a lot of the reason why some people don't want to get a purpose is because they understand that responsibility comes with purpose.
Yeah.
And people don't want responsibility because
Sacrifice,
I've noticed that myself, sacrifice as well, 100% to a great degree, because I've noticed myself as soon as I've dedicated myself to this life of, just improvement, YouTube, purpose, etc., there are times where like I should be present with someone, or I should be doing, like just having fun with someone. But it's almost like my mind can't be fully present with that person because it's constantly lingering about what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword because you achieve something that you're immensely proud of, but at the same time, you can't enjoy like the smaller things in life because you always think that you're destined for something greater.
Yeah, 100%. That's I can. Yeah, that's a great example because I can never fucking just go out and just mindlessly like drink or whatever anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to enjoy that. I'd love to go out, drink, have fun, with my friends and stuff. That'd be lovely. But the second I'm out there, I'm just thinking, oh, well, I should be editing this video. I need this video to be up. I haven't posted in this long. I haven't done this and this. I should be doing this. This is tanking my recovery. It's just plaguing my brain now. Like, I can't have fun anymore. But
I think that's another big reason why people can't, even if they find something they want to do, they don't stick at it because they get really bad FOMO for people who haven't found what they want to do and they just go out clubbing. Because that's what most people do to fill up their time. They sit on their ass on their phone or go out drinking and clubbing. And then if that one person who's starting to get in a good direction, then he sees people's story and go, oh shit, I want to go out.
Yeah, bro. I
Like,
used
we know
to
heaps of people that are like that.
100%, bro. I used to look at all the little circles on Snapchat with all like the fluoro and like LED lights and be like, oh man, like,
clubs.
oh geez, me on a Friday night just editing a video while everyone else is like out and doing shit. I'm like, bro, they don't realize that I'm the one who's actually ahead, not them.
Yeah, and it feels so hard at the start because there's no results yet, and you're just like like you're just inside while everyone else is having
Yeah.
fun. I could not go a Saturday night staying in. I used to, if I couldn't find like a party or a club to go to, I'd like, I think you've done this well, Dustin, that you post like what's on tonight, what's going on.
God.
Just trying to find something to distract you.
Where it's like, or instead it would be like, who's got insert drug here or something like that.
No, literally, bro.
It's not like you get used to it though, because I'm not like that now. I literally look at people's stories, and whenever that
fuck
club,
that.
I'm like, oh yuck! Like it's just full of fucking bums, man. Like,
You've actually seamlessly gone into our first like talking point as well. I know that was an extensive answer to our first question
was a
we've
question,
had.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that was just an answer to a question. But you've seamlessly gone into our first topic, which was I want to ask you boys if you were familiar with what self-improvement depression was. People talk about it in like the you would have seen it. People talk about it in the self-improvement space.
This is huge for me, I reckon.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. Yeah, so like I have to specify that in life it's always going to be pain. Like no matter, you just got to choose your pain. You know what I mean? So you're choosing your pain in terms of clubbing and insert degenerate action here, sort of thing, and you're thinking, I should be doing that, should be being productive. Or you can choose your pain being disciplined, doing the right thing. Like a lot of people would disagree with that being the right thing, but they're not going to be listening to this anyways. So, and then obviously missing out on certain things in life, and like either way you look at it, it just, if something's calling to you, then just go ahead and do it. Like you don't really have to complicate it. If you know I remember seeing this meme on Instagram Reels, and it was some shit like, would you gain consciousness inside the club and you realize that you're meant for so much more?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before.
Or something like that. Yeah. And it's, if you get those moments, like just know that you actually are destined for something more.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I remember being in, I think it was Empire, and I was just in the fucking, like, in the booth, in like the corner of the booth, fucking playing Clash Royale. Just like, fuck this shit.
That's how you know
Maybe
something
that's just because I was bitchless, but who knows, man.
That was like me. Like I'd just be in the club. I'd be in the club, in the crowd, dancing, whatever, having fun, talking to people. Then the second my brain switched on, I was like, I've got other shit to do. My night's over. It's ruined.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like sort of standing around because I've got such a goal-oriented mindset where, like, I'm sure everyone on this podcast does as well. And you're almost like thinking like, so, okay, I'm here now. So, like, what is the mission? What do I do?
Exactly.
Oh, so there is none. So I'm just like
still
standing
haven't
around
figured that one out.
and waving my arms. Like,
But yeah, as you were talking about the self-improvement depression, that's always going to be in the early stages.
Yes, I was going to talk about that. Self-improvement depression can also be defined as that early stage of your quote-unquote self-improvement journey, which is basically where you haven't quite figured it out yet. Yeah. You're in this weird zone where you're almost straying away from your old social group, and you haven't had any signs of success. Everyone's hating on you. You haven't quite gotten the rooms where you want to be, like rooms like this. No one's really supporting you, and it just feels like there's so much resistance there for what you want to do, and it feels almost impossible, and it's so easy to just go back.
Yep.
It's so easy to go back to your old ways, and that's that really, really hard part which you have to grit through, and I think we're past that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people
100%.
focus and go past that and then quit.
I kind of want to like coin that term as like the great barrier sort of thing. It's like
yeah.
when you're in that intermission / grey zone of, moving away from your old degenerate lifestyle to your more prosperous lifestyle, it's a great, like I said, it's a great barrier where you just have to climb over that wall. And once you're over it, you're all good.
Yeah.
But like, for example, in my sort of predicament, I was in like a group of friends who obviously didn't have the same mindset as me. I understood that. And I had a choice. It was either stay with them, more or less, for the rest of my life, or, go without friends, which is not also a great option, but it was the lesser evil option of the two. And then I sort of was just by myself for like pretty much a whole year, just working on myself, I guess, if you want to call it monk mode sort of thing.
Yeah.
And ended up finding you guys, and then sort of weaved into here, and then now I'm at, and this is the easy part. I don't have to fucking do any of that shit anymore.
Yeah, but how great is that of an example? Because you started just like you were separated from everyone else, but you were just posting like quality videos on YouTube, and they were getting traction too, and that's how we saw that happening.
Yeah.
We're like, we're trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Saw you at the gym, whatever, blah blah blah, and that just happens from there. But that's delayed gratification because that wasn't happening at the start when you had to do all those sacrifices. It only happened after just grinding and like in silence, pretty much.
And what's the term? It's like the man who enjoys going to the gym. Or sorry, no, the man who enjoys going to the gym enjoys the journey is going to gain more muscle than the guy who goes there just to gain the muscle.
Yeah.
And gets the external validation from the gym. So
The original one is the man who enjoys the journey will always walk further than the man who enjoys the destination.
That's it. That's it.
That's the original one.
That's the Jim Bro version.
Yeah, for sure. I think I just heard it in the video, but it's pretty much the same premise for sure. But I just want to ask you, Will, specifically, because why not? Obviously, you know, this is like quite a rare situation that, you know, we've got content creators all in the same sort of area and vicinity, especially in someone like
this area.
especially in Australia.
Yeah,
So,
in this,
Yeah.
this physical location. Yeah,
of course. So it's it's a very rare predicament, and the majority of people who want to pursue content creation or want to be an entrepreneur or just want to like do something out of the norm, how would you suggest for them to find a legion of brothers doing the same thing?
Yeah, like I don't know. This was like pure coincidence almost. Yes, I gotta say it was almost luck.
Yeah.
Like you have the places where there are more content creators, like like LA, Miami, all that shit, and like I know Sydney and like Surfers Paradise has a pretty big content creation like scene in Australia. But like down where we are, this is probably the only set of like content creators within a 1,000-mile radius.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but online is a good one. 100% online. Like,
Yeah, I reckon if you just go solo and do as much as you can, and then you get to the certain point, it will bring in more people. Like I always see people are by themselves, and then they hit like 1,000K followers, even less than that. People start like how we met Jamos, like shit like that. Like I reckon that will happen.
It can be
you'll trust the process, and you grind in silence for a certain amount of time, and eventually you'll start just connecting with other people.
I guess so. What I was really trying to say was like, I guess if you're talking to people online all the time, it can be quite isolating. Like I remember I had like a quote unquote YouTube mastermind sort of group, but I would talk to other YouTubers from different countries, and we'd sort of inflict ideas upon each other, and it's just not the same as like actually speaking to someone in real life, because you still feel alone after a Discord call. But you don't if you're in real life talking to someone. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, so in real life, it's probably like
Grinder.
like where would you find it? Like the gym, maybe.
Yeah. I'd almost think you'd have to convert your friends to self-improvement. Sort of thing.
Yeah, it depends where you are.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can. Yeah, but some people there's no hope. Like I've tried, but some people it's just you don't even like.
Yeah.
How do you even?
That's actually moving on to my next point. I was going to bring up this point that I don't think anyone really does, because like we're all about self-improvement. We're all about, you know, controlling the things that you can control. But do you think improvement in general is somewhat genetic? Do you think some people are incapable of success?
No.
I think everyone's capable of
Everyone's
it.
capable.
Some people are more prone to want to actively make changes. And also a lot of it's like nature, nurture. A lot of it is the way you grew up as well. Like if you grew up in just a terrible house and terrible environments, like you're like, what's a bad place?
No, but it's all random.
Campbelltown or some shit like.
Like there's situations where there are people like people who grew up in a shitty town, and then they continued to have that shitty lifestyle, got into the drugs and everything, and then there are the people who lived in the same conditions that went, hey, I don't want to live in this anymore, and went on this self-improvement journey. So I guess it's just random.
I think
like it's both of my parents, but are not like in that thing. Like they're not gonna be doing what I do. So I guess it's just random.
Yeah, also, but like it is a bit of environment too. Like, do you think you? I mean, you always say you were you never really like were destined for that degenerate lifestyle. But like, if you didn't have us as friends, or say for instance you were just hanging out with I don't know certain people, do you reckon you would have just continued that old like lifestyle or?
I don't think I would have, because regardless of what you guys were, I was getting sick of the whole going out drinking thing.
so
I was just getting sick of it, and when I was getting sick of it, I was just like surfing more and more. I mightn't have gotten to the gym, but I was just surfing and doing more sport, because I've always been into sports. I was doing that more. Like,
Oh well, then I guess that's why we've stayed so close, and I haven't with other people, just because you've naturally been the same way as me. Just wanted to actually do something productive. Yeah, do something better for your life. Make it better.
and also, I've always thought like growing up, like everyone in my family was in the trade or was just working for someone earning minimum wage. I always thought, even from when I was a young kid, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be doing that. I want to be doing more. And like growing up being told, oh, I fucking have dyslexia and all that shit. But I'm like, there's got to be something out there that I could do to earn more. So I just always thought this. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're so right. Like, there wasn't even a single point in our life, Nelson, where we've been content with just the normal like working for someone
Yeah.
else. From a kid, I've always been like fuck that.
Yeah.
Like the second I knew about this whole 9 to 5.
Literally, when I was 8, and the idea was brought up to me that I should get a trade job, I said no fucking way.
No, yeah. I remember growing up when I was around that age as well. I would be told, "Oh, you could go work with your dad being fencing." I actually did because I got sucked into it. But I remember making fun of my dad, like, "You're a fencer? What the fuck? What a loser!" Like, I remember making fun of him and like being like, "Why don't you work for yourself?" Like, I remember always saying that to him. He just never did.
Well, like when I was a kid, I remember it was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? The teacher would ask or something. Every kid would be like, I want to be a builder, Bob the Builder. I want to be plumber. I want to be dentist, police officer, whatever. I was always just like, I wanted to be an inventor. But I think the word I was looking for was probably like entrepreneur
or creator.
creator or just creating things.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that was just an inventor. I want to be an inventor. I don't want a job. I want to just make shit. I fucking turned
I think
out
you know,
accurate.
like someone in like I'm just going to use myself as an example because it's so easy to. When I was in high school, or at least primary school, whatever, it almost looked like if you were my teacher, you were like, yeah, this kid is like destined to be a loser, sort of thing. And you know, obviously you're going to agree with that, Lockie, because he was in my class. Like he would watch me he would watch me watch Fortnite streams while the teacher was telling me to do maths work, and I'd tell him to fucking fuck off. So that was that. So
Like that kids that I've heard are always the one who tells the teacher to fuck off end up doing well for themselves. I've heard because they're stubborn. They do what they want.
Because you have a mind of your own.
Yeah. Exactly.
But what I was getting to was back then I had like probably fuck all testosterone, and I probably got all of my surmountable amount of testosterone just squeezed into that one encounter where I said fuck off to a teacher. That was probably all the testosterone I had. But as soon as I started, like, I had no work ethic, literally no work ethic, except for Fortnite. And then as soon as I got into the gym, bam, discipline gets up, work ethic. You know, I start taking pride in myself. I become more just hell bent on improvement. You know, it opens up. It literally is the gateway to improvement.
That's
it's
what
the
I always say that,
the gym is the gateway drug to
Yeah.
self improvement, and it opens up this whole new world of so I can also do this and I can also do that.
Facts.
If I never got into the gym, I would have not known what looks maxing is. I would have not known like what entrepreneurship is. I would have not known how to do any of this stuff because the gym is the it's just the
gateway.
it's the gateway, but it's also like the bottom pillar to just developing every single part of
it's
yourself.
like the gym is like the most oversimplified version of self improvement. Put in work. Don't see the results, but they'll come in later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you'll be like thankful.
Delayed
you put in the work.
gratification.
Delayed gratification.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a simplified version.
And just especially with testosterone, because the gym just progressively increases your testosterone, and as we all know, if you have a high amount of testosterone, hard work feels good.
Yeah.
So if hard work feels good, you're obviously going to be more inclined to do the hard work more often than the person who doesn't do the hard work because it doesn't feel good to him. It's like, you remember when you started working out in the gym, when you were lifting all those weights, it almost feels like hard and gross. Like, oh, like I don't like lifting these.
And you don't like, know the form. either.
Yeah, exactly. And you just feel like you feel very uncomfortable and you almost want to stop. But if you're like a masculine, like high testosterone man, you're going to be like, fuck yeah, let's get to it. And you're going to go beyond value. You're going to keep going. It's natural steroids.
Yeah.
And it sets you apart from the majority of people so much.
100%.
Like, just completely.
It's the
bro.
biggest indication in the gym of like, at what point do they bitch out on their set? Like I got to let my muscles fail first.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy the feeling of just like fucking squeezing on the last reps.
Especially a fat bicep pump. Holy
Bicep
shit.
curls,
That's
100%.
the thing with me. I fucking hate it, but I still do it because it's what's needed.
Yeah.
Like so, but
I just love like the thought when you're on like the hamstring curl machine.
Yeah.
And you're doing like the one that goes down like that.
Oh, yeah.
And just the fucking burn on that thing. It's almost like I just got like David Goggins' motivation just playing around in my mind. And I'm like,
You can just feel the
yeah.
hypertrophy.
Yeah, you can just feel it, just like that fucking like that good pain. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
it's
I know
just
you
such a like satisfying feeling.
Gym bros will understand.
Yeah. When I got the pump in the gym, I feel like I'm
We got an emergency question as well that just came in right then. I guess we already covered the question. It's how do I find a man like you guys? It's on my self improvement.
I'm gonna drop the address. Okay. No.
It's on my self improvement checklist to find out. It sounds really fucking sus, but I'll take it. I won't take it as sus.
Joey wants to get
Well, it's yeah. It actually could be a girl. I might be a bit misogynistic here.
It's a girl, to be honest.
Yeah, I might be.
It's like 5% is women.
That's just unlikely, but
yeah.
if you're looking to find, or the gym, done, finished. That's where you find it, in the gym. That's pretty much the only place. Like,
Actually,
or like anywhere that
like-
entrepreneurship's happening. Go to a mastermind or something. Go to
Like
some,
Instagram, like
or Instagram. online.
you
We've got the internet.
you'll be
now.
able to find where most people are based, like location wise, through Instagram, and you'll be able to tell like what they're about and shit. So if you want to like use online to like leverage that,
yeah, I think if you're a high value woman, going to the gym is probably not the best option.
probably a dude. Like, what if it is offending him? But
No, only the reason I say that is because I basically live in the gym and I've seen countless cold approaches of guys who, like you can just tell there's like something wrong there in their brain, sort of thing, or like they just don't care. Like, yeah, of course, and they don't take care of themselves efficiently, and like they've got that scruffy facial hair and just like unkeptness, or like untidiness or whatever, and then you can just.
It's like you get harassed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I mean, like that's what it is. It's flirting versus harassment. If you're handsome or ugly, it's the same thing. But nevertheless, like if it doesn't matter, like in terms of high value aura or whatever, it doesn't really matter what you look like. It does to a degree. As long as you keep yourself like tidy, then you're good. But in terms of like talking to a woman and you're like 18, 19, 20 years old and you're approaching a girl of the same age and she's got, I guess, more of a mature mindset, it's kind of a bit of a... Because, like, I guess, like, there is a certain factor in terms of age when it comes to, men and women. Especially in today's day and age, I've noticed that, like, someone who's, like, I'm 20 years old and I'm attracting women who are literally underage. And obviously that's not going to happen because they're literally underage. But, like, I can't... think about it. I can't control who's attracted to me.
That's right. 'Cause
it's the natural age gap.
They always,
Yeah.
most of the time, date up unless you're got the maturity of an older person.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate like the age gap that they actually really want.
Yeah, like if you're 20 years old, if you're a guy in self-improvement, you're like 20, 21 or whatever, like you're probably gonna have to wait like maybe a few more years until you can actually get what you want. Because like, I hate to generalize here, but like a lot of the girls who are young or at least late teenagers, they're a bit like unexperienced in terms of the word, or inexperienced, sorry, and they have the mindset where it's like, well, I'm young, I'm gonna have like loads of fun. And if you can find a girl who's not about that at that age, that's a fucking gold mine, bro.
Yeah. Also, can I just while we're on this topic, this is something I need to get like. So many guys our age, like 19, 20, and they're just spending all their energy trying to get chicks, especially their age. It's like, what is the fucking point?
Talk about distractions.
Just you could spend those 10 years using all the energy to improve yourself, and you're still going to be attracting the chicks at that age. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So if you're just say 20 years old, you're putting every ounce of energy trying to attract another 20-year-old. Why don't you just improve yourself until you're 30? Then you can still attract a 20-year-old easier. You know what I'm saying? Like the advantage that the older guys have over you is just. It's just ridiculous. They've had 10 years over you, and you're
unparalleled.
trying to get the same age women, like pointless.
I think
Regardless, I think trying to, even if you're 30,
Regardless,
trying to get 20-year-olds,
The point is,
trying to get chicks, like all the time is just like why?
Yeah,
I-
Like,
look,
then,
I'm
like,
gonna have
they're not
to-
that great now.
I'm gonna have to like disagree with pretty much all of you here. Well, maybe not. Maybe you do agree. I don't know, but I just think you should do both at the same time.
Oh.
If you can balance it, you should. Because like, what happens if you get to 30 years old and you can't interact with women and you're virtually socially inept?
I don't mean like avoid them. I don't mean avoid them.
If you're self-improving, you're generally going to be more confident. Jack Daddy mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to not talk to girls. People who can't talk to girls are people who sat in their room playing Minecraft the whole
Yeah.
life. Like we don't do that.
if you're just having like general social interactions, like if you go to the gym enough, you have plenty of social interaction there. Like you're talking to people like at least twice a gym session on average. Let's say you go out a few times. Like I'm not saying avoid women. I'm just saying like don't spend all of your energy like scrolling like Tinder, fucking
So
everything.
more or
blah,
less,
blah, blah.
so more or less, what you're saying is don't like make your purpose women. Make your purpose your purpose.
Exactly.
And that if women come into your life, then let that be a part of your life.
You'll know you're doing good enough when the women start coming in anyway.
Yeah.
Like they'll start coming in once you start really like
They come in hot, bro.
they'll come in, no worries. Like that's why the guys they stress so much about they're chasing after the women so much. Like if you just improve yourself a little bit, they'll start coming to you. You won't have to spend all this energy.
That's where I think you were getting at was
the
don't
dynamic
chase it, bro.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
And the dynamic flips too once you start improving.
That's what I'm saying. Don't ever fucking chase it, man. It's a waste of your energy. Not even time, but just energy.
Energy, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
And also, I don't know how much of this is true, but I heard girls are also more into guys who aren't, chasing them.
Of course they are, bro.
They're into the guys
This is
that are more just
basic, man.
casual going on it. Yeah,
Of course, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to be a fucking, not like a simp, but like you don't want to be, as soon as you are looking desperate, as soon as they're in power, right? From the moment you date them, they're in power if you look like
that's
you
what I'm
need
saying.
it.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, and you'll know this, Will, when you have abundance of everything else and you're good on your own, then they come in. That's what they're attracted to, is when you're a masculine man who's good on their own, who can sort shit out, and they don't actually need, like, it sounds bad, but you don't need them.
No, you don't.
That's what they're attracted to.
Yeah, if you can if you can,
They'll never
if
fuck you over.
Not
bro,
tell
if you
them,
do that.
but they know that if they fuck up, you can just boot them out the door.
Yeah.
That's when the power dynamic works properly.
People could be getting this wrong, but this is just how it works. I'm sorry.
It is,
This
it is.
how
That's
it
what I'm
works.
saying. If you're spending all your energy at a younger age chasing after women, even if you do get a chick and you've locked her up, she's your girlfriend or whatever, the dynamic's fucked. She's just gonna she's gonna run over you.
Yeah.
Because you've just spent all your energy trying to get her, and now she knows that she could just say like goodbye to you, and you're gonna get on your knees to like stay with
Yeah,
her.
100%.
That's.
I think if you're a guy
everyone's
who wants like an abundance of women, I guess this is just like an example, but if you're someone who just wants like, you know, a lot of options more or less, if that's what you want in life, which I don't know, I guess that's all cool if you want that, but I'd say you just want to be smart, independent, and then good looking. That's pretty much it. Like you just need those 3 traits. And when I say good looking, you literally just have to like stand out above the rest. Like
100%.
if you can just like sort of dart your eyes like around a room or even like the gym or something, and then just pick like the first guy that like kind of stands out. Use that as like a baseline for good looking. Because like realistically, like there are certain things that can make anyone good looking, if that makes sense. Like if I look around and everyone's like kind of looking the same, they're wearing all the same clothes, they all got like shitty mustaches and beards, and they kind of just look the same and unkept. Like you're gonna look like you're just gonna blend into the crowd. No one's gonna give a fuck about you. Like plain and simple.
Yeah.
But if you have like a trait that separates you from everyone else, so that may that be just your fashion, you know, like say you've got like a nice tan or something like that, you got a better haircut than the rest, you know, fucking could
just
be
one
anything.
thing they can pick out.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I don't think a lot of self-improvement guys talk about this at all or mention it, but you can not be jacked or whatever, or even look perfect, but if you give off the right vibe, chicks they'll love it, bro. They're like, there's plenty of examples of like, if you go to TikTok, you'll sometimes just scroll across like thirst traps of just guys that don't really have, like, they're not that attractive, they don't have all the muscle, but because they have a certain vibe about them, you go to the comments, it's just chicks. I need this man, I need this man.
I've noticed that as well.
It's
Paddy the Baddie, for example.
Paddy the Baddie,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, I would say
fucking-
he's that great looking, but chicks love him.
fucking hideous, bro. Like,
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that as well
Status
because I've gotten into like facial aesthetics like a lot, and then I see like I'll be scrolling on TikTok just to, like research sort of like what to upload on TikTok sort of thing. Like I know it sounds like cope, but like it actually isn't.
nah,
Like
you have to do it.
You kind of have to do it. And then I'll see this guy and he's like, I'll say like, yeah, this guy's like a fucking normie or whatever.
Yeah.
But he has like some tattoos that are like distinctively in a certain style. He has like long hair and like jewelry and all this shit, and he's just maxed that out. Even though like he isn't like blessed facially or whatever, but then he has girls just fawning over him in the comments.
Even if it's like the lifestyle they show off, like they're living a certain lifestyle, chicks will want to just join in on that.
So I truly don't think looks don't matter that, like obviously they matter to a point, you just have to like what you're looking at, but I don't think they're that important. Like there's heaps of guys that are like chicks love him because he's such a good, funny.
But it's the vibe they give off.
exactly.
It's the vibe they give off.
If you have like a mysterious like masculine aura, you're all good. But I don't think a mysterious / masculine aura comes if you look like a subhuman. Like that just doesn't work.
Literally.
You have to have both.
There's a threshold, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, this is going to
That's
fucking
completely. I don't want to talk about chicks this episode. I want to talk about self-improvement. So
Sick talking about that as well. Like,
because, like we said, it doesn't fucking matter that much.
we're sitting here talking about chicks, and it sounds like we're all just like, so guys, how do we get girls? Like,
the point I make, the original point was don't chase after them, and if they're not coming to you, if they're not coming straight to you, you're doing something wrong, and you need to improve more.
Yeah.
Well, just be yourself, and people and girls that love you will love your personality will come to you. So
Because you have to chase after them. They don't want
last thing I'm going to touch on with girls, pause, is is that like I was speaking to some guy in the gym before, and he was saying like, oh, you know, I really wanted to say this to my girl. I'm like, oh, she broke up with me, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we'll just tell her how you feel. Like that's. And she's like, oh, but then she might leave me. I'm like, good.
That's what you want then.
Literally, like, so you're telling me you weren't yourself, you weren't acting the way you actually are as a person throughout the entire relationship. That just means she fell in love with someone who isn't you. Exactly. And then as soon as you, like, this has happened to me before, bro. I'd pretended to be some, like, fuckboy or, like, some guy who's, like, super charismatic and, like, you know, gets loads of girls, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as I, like, actually show who I really am with just, like, weird cunt or whatever, then they're just like, oh.
Yeah, well, there's no point
I'm going to
pretending
pass.
to be
And then they
something
just leave. And it's like, what's the point, bro? Just show you are from the get-go. If they don't like you, then that's it. Cool.
Yeah,
Done.
that's it. That's it.
I want to talk about self-improvement masturbation. Pause. They talk about it all the time in this self-improvement space. Yeah.
yeah.
So this is fucking huge. Obviously, I've always had the old school mindset of self-improvement, and we've always sort of been on it, but it came to a certain point where it was defined, and that's when sort of Hamza came in the scene and everyone sort of put a label on it, which was self-improvement.
It's really just.
But dad has brought us up this way, and we've been sort of like this our entire life.
Yeah.
Going back to it, like self-improvement masturbation is essentially when people get into the space, they see a couple of Hamza videos, they see a couple of any of the other guys, Raw's videos or
They
something.
buy a cigar, they buy a bath.
They buy a cigar, buy a bathrobe, buy fucking How to Win Friends and Influence People, buy a Way of Superior Man, and they sit there and do these fucking, I'm not going to say pointless because they're all good additions to your lifestyle, but they do these activities thinking it's going to get them success.
Yeah.
When it's like, I think the actual definition of self-improvement is doing reps of the right things over and over again until you find success.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I read, it's funny you mentioned books because I did read a page in the 48 Laws of Power. It was just a summary of it. I don't actually fucking, dissect this book.
Yeah, I've read
but
this
it said,
one.
it was concentrate your forces. So essentially what that means is just continue to milk the cow that provides the most milk. That was a really weird analogy, but essentially what that is like,
sense.
okay, if you're doing like, I'll use you guys as an example, and I hate to do this, but I'm just going to be honest, right? So you guys do a lot of things. You do boxing, fucking golf,
Spread thin.
We know
yeah,
this though.
you're very spread thing, like at least you can admit that, right? Whereas like, for example, like you guys do work harder than me. That's for sure. You definitely work harder than me, but I've narrowed down my sort of tunnel vision on like what I want to do, which is YouTube, and then like obviously working on looks maxing, and then Instagram, and just growing like a certain few things instead of like focusing like everything around there. So, 100%. I've been in this social media game for a long ass time, and now I've sort of kind of found what works, and then I'm just focusing on that certain thing. So you should really just focus on what grants you the most results.
100%.
If you're into self-improvement and you're trying to like, Hamza's telling you, oh yeah, so you should be reading The Way of the Superior Man, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then he also comes out with, oh, do not touch your cock. And then something else like always have cold showers in the morning. Just like, yes, those are all good things, right? Cold showers are great, reading's great, whatever. But if you're new into the space, don't try and do everything at once, because then you're just going to crash course. And you need to start off slowly with one thing. So if Hamza says to you, or I say something to you, or Will, or Nelson, Donnie, whatever, focus on the one thing at the time. The thing that grants you the most interest, start trying that, progressively scale that. Once you've got that down pat, focus on another thing. You can't always just focus on multiple things at once. Always got to focus on the one thing so you can master that.
Yeah, this is what I did. I did so bad at the start. Just spread myself so thin because I just thought adding shit would be better. So I'd like add things to my routine, or I had a like a lifestyle course, I was trying to sell a bulking course. I still got it, but I don't really focus on it. But like that, I was gonna do a pre-workout. Then I had also everything else on top.
Bro, yeah, it's
I had to
interesting.
narrow it all back down to just the clothing brand.
Yeah,
YouTube.
It's interesting you say that. I have to cut you off real quick. Is that like it's almost like a trap, self-improvement masturbation, because it makes you feel good. It's like, oh, I'm adding all these things. Wow, I feel so productive and amazing. But realistically, you would be getting more done if you actually cocked back what you were doing, because then you have less to do, so you're focusing more on the greater scale of things, and then B, you actually have more time to rest, which means when you go back to doing your deep work, you have more of an efficient workflow because you're much more dialed in, and your brain clarity is actually more there than it was before. So
like a good example of this is actually like I haven't been doing the ice bath recently, and I could use this as a cope, like. I don't want to get that. Realistically, I'm better off just getting out of bed and heading straight into the computer to edit.
Yeah.
The ice bath is like, you got to go get the ice, fill it up, have the ice bath, get changed and all this shit. I'm like, it's like, ice bath is better for recovery and focus or whatever. But realistically, I just got to get out of bed and start like doing my work.
Another thing I've noticed I especially do, and it's called productive procrastination. So what productive procrastination essentially is that you're procrastinating doing the big task that's the hardest to do with many things before you do the big task to act like you're productive so you don't feel so bad about yourself. Yeah. So for example, if I need to complete like a huge fuck off video that I've just recorded and I want to edit it and it's just sitting there and I'm like, okay, it's going to take hours to do. What I will do is, first of all, I'll shave like fucking my upper body or whatever, and like my face, and then I'll put on moisturizer, and then I'll take a cold shower, and then I eat food, and then I have another snack, and then I'll put on YouTube while I'm eating that food, and then while I'm doing that, I'll fucking like take my supplements. But then after I've done all of that, I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. And it's 3 hours later, and in those 3 hours, I probably could have just blasted out the entire video. So
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah, well, it's like we filmed a fucking trying every monster in Australia video, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Still not edited or posted.
Well, listen, I want to say,
It's a task. It's so-
self-improvement masturbation really only applies for those younger people that aren't in the real world yet.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you know, when you wake up and you realize, you know, because we've got our own house, we rent our own house, there's shit we've got to do.
Yeah.
You can't fucking mentally masturbate anymore. Like, you're in the real world, you got to get shit done. And I've always visualized it as you've got an allocated amount of energy that you have. It's almost like a bar. You can't go past that bar, you just won't. You can't do it as a human. You're not superhuman, you know? And you've got to allocate this energy properly.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there fucking trying to do like you said, trying to do all this shit at once,
Yeah.
you'll just fucking 0.5% of everything. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. Like, yeah, at the start, like when I used to listen to this self-improvement content, it was like, so you need to spend an hour meditating, you need to spend an hour gratitude journal, ice bath, all this stuff. I'm like, and I'm just not thinking about it. It doesn't fit into my fucking schedule. I got to work, I got to edit, I got to actually get shit done here.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm just doing all this, like, yes, obviously that can help you if you have the time for it and shit, but don't, like, focus your energy on into what matters.
That's why we've always sort of had that old school approach.
Yeah.
And that's not for everyone. Not everyone can do that. But, you know, that's what works for us.
Yeah.
Or I would also say self-improvement masturbation can also come in the form of over-consuming content, like self-improvement
Thinking
content,
you're learning.
thinking you're making progression when you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, read a book, great. Listen to an audiobook on the way to work. Listen to an audiobook on the way
That's
back.
what we do.
Get the value when you can, but you're going to get the most return on investment by taking action every time because you learn from failure.
yeah. The guys who are like sitting on their laptops, going on those like big, train rides, they've got the ideas down pat for sure. But also, like at the same time, don't use having a busy schedule as an excuse to settle back and not do as much. So, like for example, I'm not going to disclose names here, but there was a guy I was talking to who I was sort of just trying to get into like understanding the facets of self-improvement and like specifically looks maxing because he's on his like weight loss journey and etc. I think you know what I'm talking about. And he just said to me, he's like, bro, like I just don't have enough time to like do any looks maxing stuff. I'm like, okay, so he's texting the chat like about 4 hours a day. And I'm like, okay, so bro, I'm like, okay, so you don't have 5 minutes to shave your face, but you have 4 hours to message the group chat. You know what I mean? Like if you want to, this is what people like don't get about like looks maxing is like they think you have to like focus your entire life's mission on it, bro.
Yeah.
It literally takes me like 10 minutes out of my entire day. I shave, I put on like a bit of fucking BB cream, whatever. You know, like, what else will I do? I'll put in like water in my hair.
My whole looks
like
thing is 5 minutes in of the day.
Yeah, literally. Like,
literally.
Yeah.
You move 24/7.
I just 5 minutes after the shower, moisturize, shave and shit.
I mean, actually, you know what? Nah, look, okay, I'll go back on that. If you're someone who like hasn't been blessed with good genetics, you probably have to do more. But like for example, I had to get on Accutane for my pimples, and that took me a lot more. So yeah, if you're someone like who's not like obviously even at normie tier, if you're like sub-5 or some shit, subhuman, like you probably have to like do a lot more research. But for the average person, you can easily just do a few things and you're good.
Well, isn't like most looks back, you'll just be a little routine at the end of the day, and then the big changes come in. Like if you get if you get veneers or you get
of course,
like you fucking with the hairline shit you do, like that's probably
It's like for me, like a pretty average looking guy. I can keep it real. I'm not trying to be the most handsome motherfucker in the world, you know. I'm just trying to make some money and look classy at the same time. Yeah. All I got to do is shave. I put in my moisturizer and shit. Put in my retinol. Make sure I look alright, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that part of it. I want to get on to can everyone do it?
Self-improvement.
Yeah,
in general, like
in general, can everyone succeed in self-improvement?
Yeah. Well, I don't understand how people aren't trying to improve. Like, what are you trying to do?
Okay, I'll rephrase the question as well. Should everyone be on self-improvement?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why would you not improve? This is what I can't wrap my head around. People that aren't bothered by just staying the same for the rest of their life. I don't get that.
Look, I'd love to be like, yay, everyone, get on self-improvement. We all be great and phenomenal. But then that just raises the bar and then there's a new baseline. And then everyone's great and phenomenal. But wait, hold on. So if everyone is great and phenomenal, then everyone's average. So then it's harder to stick out. So I love it. If everyone is subhuman, then that's all good to me. Like, I can stand out. I'm all good with that.
Oh, well,
It's one of those situations where it's like it's kind of harder for you at the start, and then as you go on, everything will just be easier. Like you'll get more chicks, you'll make more money, you'll be smarter because self-improvement is also learning more.
Yeah.
But these people who are sitting there making it easier at the time because they can't be bothered, it will be harder down the road. Like when they're older and they're fat and they can't fucking run or even jump. They haven't learnt anything. So it's like people would rather just be comfortable at the time.
Yeah,
And harder at the,
self-improvement's a lot to do with like quality of life as well. It's just a lot to do with delayed gratification. It's pretty much the forefront of everything to do with self-improvement. It's like last night, I was thinking to myself, I'm sitting in my crusty gaming chair. I'm like, oh, so I've got to stretch right now and I got to get some to eat, but I can't be bothered. I'm too tired. I'm like, you know what? Now I'm tired right now. Like, all I have to do is just stretch and get something to eat, and then I'm going to feel amazing after. So that's what I did. Like, it's pretty simple, bro. Literally just try and go against your subconscious mind as much as possible, because most of the time your subconscious mind is literally just telling you to preserve energy as much as possible. And if you're preserving energy, yes, you're having more energy in that sort of time that you're currently in, but then tomorrow you're not going to have more energy. You might even have decreased energy. But if you exert all of that energy that you've just expended during that day, the next day you're going to have even more energy because you've just increased your baseline. So it's the same sort of thing with the gym. Like you lift more weights, you have more muscle, you do more. So I remember Jordan Peterson saying something about like, what should you do with your young? That was the question. And he sort of just said, work as much as you can, see how much you're able to work, which I'm thinking like, tosser, like, you know what I mean? But then at the same time, I'm like, wait, that actually makes sense. If I work like a fucking animal, do as many hours as I possibly can in my younger years, bro, like I'm going to be one of those old men who are just like thinking like back at all these new generation Gen Alphas and shit. It's pretty ironic that they're called Gen Alpha, by the way, but and then I'm just going to be sitting there like, oh, these Gen Alphas can't do bloody anything. So it's easy.
It's as simple as just get used to working hard, and that's what you'll be used to.
Most people are just comfortable and distracted. That's it.
Yeah, 100%.
As soon as you can get uncomfortable, like there's certain things in our business journey or our self-improvement journey that are really uncomfortable to do, but they always reap the best rewards. It's like, for instance, I can even just say, doing a pop-up or public speaking kind of stuff, or doing things that I'm not used to, like phone calls, business phone calls, all things I hate, but they reap the best rewards for me because those are things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So the more resistance there is, usually reaps the most reward.
Yeah.
People are just stuck in this comfortable, distracted state. Well, that's the biggest problem.
I think the biggest problem is people they just have such a closed mind, and they don't think in the future. They just think present tense, and they just have this small mind. They can't open their mind. They can't expand their their vision. They can't expand their vision. Like if 99 out of 100 people, if I ask, what do you want for the future? How do you see yourself? They don't know. They can't think any further than the weekend, pretty much.
Or what fucking girlfriend the weekend has now.
Yeah, or just some
No.
Yeah. Because, like you said, comfortable and distracted. Everyone is comfortable and just completely and utterly distracted. Yeah. Like, you can't even have a conversation with anyone these days, like a serious conversation, because they'll either pull up some fucking stupid joke, or they'll go on their phone and start doing something while you talk to them.
It's actually really annoying me.
It's so annoying, bro, because I can't have... Like, this podcast we're doing right here, you can't do this with anyone else. 100% you couldn't.
Oh, 100%, bro. Like, you know the amount of fucking annoyance I get when I'm, like, trying to have a conversation with someone and they just whip out their phone and go on TikTok? No, genuinely, though. It actually astounds me, bro, because, like... When everyone says they're so lonely and they don't have like no, just like listen, bro. They're all saying, "Oh, I'm so lonely and I can't connect with anyone." It's like, bro, no shit. Whenever someone's in front of you, face to face, you just whip out your phone like you're a fucking dickhead, bro. Like, come on. Like, of course you're lonely if you can't even make connections, bro.
Like, I'm sure all of us here understand the importance, and like we're comfortable to talk about the fact that relationships are a massive part of self-improvement. That's like a pillar of it. Is like the way that you network with people and connect with people. So when you get in conversations, you're engaged because you know that's gonna fulfill you.
For sure.
But these people just neglect it.
Yeah, bro. When I'm talking to someone in real life, the last thing I want to do is whip out my phone and go on like a social media.
Trying to get value out of it, exchanging value.
I know, it doesn't fucking make any sense.
To the point where they don't have their only life is other people's lives. Like people know more about celebrities' lives than fucking AFL players than than their own life, so they have to whip out and
Yeah.
show you what they fucking do.
Yeah. Well, bro, you know what's so good though? When you talk to the old, it's usually the older people, and like in the gym and stuff like that, and you for some reason end up in a conversation with them about something, but you can just like hold eye contact, have a conversation, think logically, talk about like interesting shit, and none of you are like distracted or anything. You're just in the conversation, having a good having a
How
good.
good do you feel after?
You do. You feel so good. You're like, oh yeah, see you later, mate. Like you all smiles around and everything. Like with younger people, like fuck, I sound old, but like even mostly people my age, I can't have a conversation with them. I literally, like you said before, at parties, you usually end up just talking to the parents.
Bro, I'm not
Yeah.
even. I was literally about to say that
Yeah.
exact same thing
Yeah.
because. Yeah, I have this like mother's group sort of thing, right? And it's basically just like a bunch of parents and a bunch of kids that are all had birth at the same time and they will hang out for the rest of their life, sort of thing. Anyways, so that's a thing, right? I'm the I think I'm the oldest in that mother's group, like a day or some shit. Doesn't really matter, we're all the same age, but I find myself just going up to the parents' table and just speaking to all of them.
Yeah.
Because like I'm generally on like the mental level of them, but I feel like yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's just
yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's what I
usually
mean.
happens at like parties and shit. I'm just trying to have a conversation with people, and they're just like, they're like, what's the word for
Yeah,
it?
they want to talk about like Kai Cenat or some shit
It's just
like
some
that.
bullshit. Like they're just about some bullshit, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, then I can actually hold a conversation with like the older people,
Yeah,
the parents. And
no,
shit.
like because you actually get value exchange out of talking to like a parent because they've experienced more life than you. Why would you like? I guess it's fun talking to people your own age because you can relate to them, but. To be honest with you, I can't relate to people my own age anyways. So I may as well talk to the older people that actually have something to grant me. which
and
is
they're actually
good
conscious while
conversation.
you're having a conversation with them.
Yeah,
They're
so like
actually
they're
present.
actually like they're present, so they've actually like got eyeballs and they're like making eye contact with you and you know
Yeah.
like listening to the words you're speaking.
Exactly,
To.
man.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't
some
actually
people-
whip out their phone. It's crazy stuff.
But like
so.
some people, just when you're talking to them, you can see them slowly starting to drift
Yes.
off your face and start looking around while they're talking. I'm just like, what? And then they're like, oh, nothing. They're just looking around because
Yeah.
they're so
It's just
fucking.
like-
It's just a
bored
lack of
by a
dopamine.
normal conversation.
Yeah, no, literally.
No one's fucking.
There's just no footage
twerking.
underneath it.
Yeah, no one's twerking.
Yeah, they're
in
like
front of
looking around like to the left or
No
right.
Subway
Just
Surfers.
yeah, where's the
Yeah.
Subway Surfers
Like, I remember,
gameplay?
like, I was at like a friend's. It was like a little. It was like someone's birthday party, but it was only little, and like a lot of the guys there were like drinking, and I was completely sober, and I was having a good time. But everyone else there was like bored and saying, "Oh, this is like not a party. This is boring." It's like you're with some friends that you went to school with. What more do you want? Like, there's no shit blowing up in front of you.
No
Like,
Subway Surfers.
Where's the family?
Yeah,
where's the Family Guy funny moments compilation?
What's really going up? No, don't worry, just keep talking.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'll write this down.
Another thing as well is like the types of conversations when you're at this age, like it's literally just, did you see the new insert here? Did you see the insert here? And it's always like, for example, if you're going to give an example of like today's week's one, it would be like, did you see the new Sam Sulek diet video? Or which other one would it be? It would be like, did you see Cossinat? Or did you see Ostro Speed? Shut the fuck up.
no, I remember the week of the grand final of AFL. Like everywhere I went, people would just ask me, "Did you watch the grand final? Did you?" I was like, "No." What?
Hey bro, did you consume this thing I also consumed on the weekend?
I've got it right here. This is how you communicate with degenerates, okay? So you have a conversation with them and you hold your phone here with the Subway Surfers game show. And then you start having a conversation. How are you, bro? How are you doing? Did you see the football this weekend? Now you're interested.
Really? That's crazy, dude.
Oh, no, but for real. Like,
That's so true.
yeah, but like, that's what I...
You
And,
have your own subtitles now.
yeah, oh yeah, we can pull up some subtitles here maybe. But yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna have like
With AI now,
like,
honestly,
in
it's
the future-
possible.
In the future, everyone's gonna have like certain glasses where like
you
subtitles
can-
appear
you
below
put-
your head.
Oh damn! Actually, maybe though.
This is a golden idea, alright?
how
How do the deaf people talk back?
They just can't talk back.
Well, at least, yeah,
They can lip read.
sure, because like, okay, so you get glasses,
You can
right?
understand shit at least.
Yes, you get glasses, and it like gets it has like a microphone on it, and it gets the voice like person speaking, right? And it puts it into the glasses. I just realized what would happen if someone hacked that.
what was I gonna say before? Andrew Tate actually like said this like perfectly because he was on a date and he was looking over another table of someone else that was on a date,
Okay.
and all they were talking about was just other people and their achievements. And not talking
Yeah,
about the
that's
same-
sad to me, bro.
Talk about your own achievements.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but,
people-
but a lot of people don't have achievement because they're so focused on other people's achievement. Like,
Facts,
yeah.
facts, facts.
It's not even like we like don't like these people or something. I just wish that I had something to talk to them about.
Yes, exactly.
Like honestly, bro.
Yeah, legit.
I'm just trying to learn more about you, bro.
Also, like, I hate this because I hate like centering a conversation around myself.
Yes.
Or like feeling like coming across as self-centered or whatever. But like I will explain something like I'm doing whatever, then I ask them like, well, what about you? And then they're just blank. Like they don't have anything to talk about themselves with. And I'm like, I hate to make this self-centered, but like, do you have anything to talk about?
Yeah. No, bro. When you're when you're a part of this life, you almost have to downplay what you're doing just to seem like you're not like perfect. And like obviously we're not perfect, but like people looking in on our lives are thinking, oh yeah, these guys think they're the shit. It's like
That's why we gotta cope with it.
that's why you get exactly. You gotta. That's another thing from the 48 Laws of Power. Never be perceived as too perfect, because if you do, then people are always going to try and look out for your faults. So if you just admit your own faults, then you'll be perceived as more likable for sure.
Eminem episode.
But yeah, like God, yeah, I've just noticed myself doing that like a bunch. It's not like what I do is even impressive.
No.
It's just that I don't even want to like talk about myself and like feel like act as though like I'm greater than. Like I don't
it's
really want to do that.
that. It's more like your life is super busy and you're loving like chasing your passion.
Yeah.
Like I'm enthusiastic to have conversations with people about like what I'm doing. I'm interested to know what they're doing. Like wholesome conversations.
Yeah.
But some people don't have have a busy life with anything other than just watching shit on their phone, which is why they can only talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. It saddened me sometimes because, like, especially mates that I know from like when I was younger, and we've just drifted apart and whatnot, and I get into conversations with them, and I can never talk about myself because they probably like I'm not going to say I really always want to talk about myself, but the only time I can really be myself is around like you guys because you understand like my mission, my purpose, and why I make content. But if I'm around, say, like one of my old mates, and they're talking about like, I don't know, their car or, you know, what was on, you know, the weekend or like the AFL grand final, it's just, I will pretend like I'm caring, but I deep down don't. And it saddens me because
not your fault, though.
because I'm not even like, I'm not a fake person at all, but I want to be nice around
Yeah.
people and I want to act like I care because I want to like,
No.
I'm not like Patrick Bateman where I'm like, I want to fit in. No, it's more like, I just want to have like a kind conversation with the person I
same.
like, you know? So-
Well, it's bad because I zone out if I hear some bullshit about like, did you see this? Did you hear about this? I just zone out.
Sequences
Like, I stop paying
and
attention.
numbers.
Conor McGregor gets the fucking gist. He said the same thing. Like, unless it's about the greater goal or something inspiring or motivating or just talking
Did
about
you-
success, like he doesn't give a fuck.
Does this not make like I when I made the creative versus consumer thing way back, fucking what was like 2 years ago or whatever, and I thought I was onto something. I still even think now, you know, it's always been prevalent, but like putting a label on like that, creator and consumer, just makes so much sense because there really is two kinds of people. Like, I still think this to this day. It's like
been the greatest thing you came up with.
no, literally, because now I have a direct label to put on it. It's like you're either a consumer or you're a creator.
And you know it straight away when you.
And because as soon as like I see a creator or hear about a creator, I'm engaged.
Yeah.
I want to be friends with them. I want to know more about them. Oh, guys, quick intermission. So, why do you think people hate on self-improvement?
I mean, some people, because a lot of people come off very fucking arrogant when I'm not talking about anyone.
Because it makes people feel bad about their wrong decisions. That's why.
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's the reason why.
Put better,
like people who hate on this podcast and see us, it's because we make them feel bad about themselves because they make the continuous wrong decisions.
Yeah, I feel like when you tell people the right thing to do to improve themselves, they think we're attacking them on the bad things they do. Like I've had people say that you can't attack people. It's like I'm not. I'm just telling you what to do.
Exactly. We're just being like objective.
Yeah, they
You don't-
think we're targeting one person.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
We don't, it's
we're
not like
we're trying to help you.
if it offends you, it means we're correct because
Yeah.
it like
But it's more like we need to start. We just need like a little pre-roll thing at the start of the video. It's like if you don't want to improve your life, fuck off.
yeah, facts. Please
Because like
actually do that.
some people think that I'm like trying to fucking control them or something.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
trying to
true.
get them like you need
That's
to live
why-
like me. It's like but no, it's only if you want to better your life.
Yeah,
If
it
you're
actually
happy with this,
it's
fine.
giving control freak vibes. But like actually though, because people view this podcast and they think, oh, these guys are just trying to change everyone and how we he's attacking my lifestyle and you know, like he thinks I'm a prick because of the way I live. It's like, no, actually, you know, like there are certain people that I know don't like this podcast and I actually like them as people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they think, oh yeah, he's just attacking it. Well no, like that's not how it works.
I'm trying
bro.
to educate.
Yeah, it's not like the only thing is like yes, you know, like I like you as a person, but I don't really think that your lifestyle is as prosperous as it could be, and I don't think your potential is the most it could possibly be as well. It's literally like this podcast is essentially teaching you how to reach your full potential, and full potential comes with sacrifice. So, you know, most people don't really understand what sacrifice is nowadays anyways. So, you know, like plain simple actually, yeah.
I also just think it's generally because society's gotten really nihilistic. Like especially, and also it's way, way, way easier to hate on someone than to like
Right.
pick out positives.
You can post anything and people will hate on it. Like literally anything.
And another thing is like there's just a lot of dorks promoting it as well, which
Yes,
doesn't help.
yes,
Like there's a lot of fucking dorks, and because if you're cool, and Andrew Tate said this on one of his podcasts. I hate to bring Andrew Tate up, but he said like if you can be cool, then you can influence people, and like most people will like you.
Yes.
Like genuinely, because a lot of the reason people do the things they do is to be cool or to fit in. And if being cool is hating on someone else, then they're going to do that because that's what's cool. Like if it's cool to hate on me, people are just going to do, and everyone's going to start doing
It's a
it.
sheep mind.
It's like the hive mind. It's how it works.
And you put yourself in a scenario to be hated on all the time, and people like, bro, all of us in this podcast, I guarantee you, people to talk shit about us continuously for so long about like what we're doing. I
know.
It's just like a given at this point, you know what I mean? But like, it's what it is. That's what you do by putting yourself out there.
As soon as we start really seeing the success and things start really picking up, and then it becomes cool, this will be reverse. Everyone's just gonna these cunts are the fucking sickest cunts ever. But yeah, for now, when the beginning phase.
For now we're delusional, quote
exactly.
unquote. But then we've made it, and we're jeez.
Well, it's also anything, especially for a country like Australia, anything that isn't normal is going to get hated on. And this especially is
literally.
not normal for the average Australian. Like the average
For real.
the Australian culture is get fucking blonde, get a mullet, and like that is just not. going on.
No, literally, I was about to
Of
say.
course, it's going to get hated if like people.
If you're in
not
Australia and you're not doing something that actively is destroying your liver health, your mental health, or your heart health, you're gay.
Yeah, like, literally, if you don't rock up to a tradie worksite with a fucking sausage roll and a meat pie, you get called weird because we rock up with meat, like with healthy foods, and be like, and they get made fun of.
So you're one of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't do anything that's like in the culture. That if it's not in the culture, it's like fucking.
Yeah, I used to get fucking rinsed for bringing tuna to work.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it's different.
But even if you're just going to the gym, you get made fun of.
yeah.
Like I remember, like, what are you going? You just work harder. It's like what?
Yeah, I just thought of something like what you just said with the tuna sandwich. You got made fun of having that tuna sandwich when you weren't jacked, and now you're jacked, and everyone's like, "Oh, that makes sense. He has a tuna sandwich." It's the same thing with business and making it in life. If you're making this podcast right now, he's like, they have a podcast and they only have 130 subscribers. What happens when we have 130,000 subscribers? Then what?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, as well. Also, a massive example is like you said, like now I'm not really jacked, right? But I still make like the difference I've made though is massive. But people can't see that if they just see one of my videos. Yeah, but like my whole comment section is just fucking filled with people saying, "What the fuck? You know, you're small. You're like." I could go through that Sam Sulek video that blew up, and it's just every fucking comment is pretty much just like, why are you trying to do this? You're small, little. Like someone called me a little twink. I'm like, cunt, we would fight, and I don't even care who you are. I can guarantee you, I would beat the fuck out of you, cunt.
Literally.
Like,
If you're commenting,
I'm dead serious. Like
if you're
these people,
commenting
bro,
on a random person's YouTube video hating on them,
I know.
you guarantee to be like low test.
yeah, well, every single comment, like so much of them were like say this shit, like they're saying this shit behind a fucking screen.
Bro,
man.
literally, it's like these people are saying like even on
Why
my
can't
videos.
say it to me in person?
Exactly. It's like they're like, oh, you literal MGK looking noodle man. I'm like, I'm 6'3", cunt. I'll fucking knee your jaw. I'll make your fucking jaw do a 360,
You know how
cunt.
like the whole thing that happened with Andrew Tate, how like that whole thing. He said, I have never had someone come up to me in real life. and say
Exactly.
this." Like he's
Either
never,
have I.
ever- He said everyone in real life is super nice to him and said they love what he does. He's never had a negative thing in person. It's all behind the
It's like
screen.
Bro,
people
tell
in
me about it.
conversation like little twink boy. Like I know I'm no fucking monster or whatever, but like I like you said, like I'm not 6'4", but I'm a fucking I could beat the fuck out of 90% of that comment section. I know
for
I
sure.
could.
Yeah.
So it's like these people only say that shit because they're not used to being punched in the face for it.
Yeah.
They just say it behind a fucking
Exactly.
screen.
Bro, the amount of, like, I say this every fucking podcast, but the amount of, like, haters I had on TikTok
Yes.
who were saying, like, you're a dickhead, or if I see you on the streets, you're dead, bro.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, literally.
And then I go into the gym, and I have 5 people, and every single one of them are people who love my shit.
Yeah.
And 90% of those comments were haters.
Yeah.
So imagine all the haters that saw me in that gym in real life, blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, it's Raws. Well, I did say I was going to beat him in real life, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's a bit too far. It's like,
The one kind of hate we got in real life is some guy took a photo of us and sent it to us. And even that, like, he hated our stuff, saw us in person,
a
and
photo.
still didn't come up to us. He just took a photo.
Oh, wait,
Like, how
so-
weird. Like, that's so weird.
I just realized the original point I was making was completely different. I just got
Yeah,
like a little mini fucking natural roid rage fucking there for a sec. But no, the original point was that because I don't have the insane results of like people on steroids or whatever, people don't trust what I'm doing, or they'll hate on it because I haven't got the massive results yet. So that's like how we say the goal with Youth Market is to make self improvement cool.
Yeah.
And it'll do that.
there's
If
not like
if
verified
it blows up and the designs are sick, cool people are rocking it, it'll make it cool.
That's why influencers are a thing, and that's why all brands have influence behind them now.
Yeah.
That's literally the main reason, is because like people just like to follow what's cool
Yeah.
and what's in trend. Also, another thing is like people always pick out what you say on like podcasts and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't film an hour-long podcast and everyone like what you say. It's like put any normal person on this podcast and they'll make an absolute fool of themselves, bro.
100%.
I'll challenge anyone. Come on the podcast and speak about whatever you're doing. You'll get rinsed, bro. You'll go home and cry. Look at these comments. You'll be like,
And also, like, what the things I say, like, I'm so adamant about making everything I say super accurate. I try not to say a single bit of misinformation. But the amount of times I have a conversation with someone or people are trying to give me advice, and every fucking thing they say is bullshit, and I can just like, I know a decent amount about certain topics, and like they'll just say something, and I hate to be a dickhead, but I just got to be like, what you said was just fucking wrong. Like everything you said was wrong. I can tell you that a statistic on everything, and what you said is just complete bullshit. Like the people in my comment section are telling me about fucking diet this, I'm gonna get diabetes this. I'm like, bro, you're fucking retarded. Like, do some research first, please. That's why you said when people sit on this podcast, they will just spit bullshit and everything they say would be wrong.
no, bro, they trigger me, those comments.
Yeah.
Like, they're always on your videos as well. It's never on like my ones. It's always yours. But like, they'll say,
yours are different.
yeah, mine's are
Yours are
different. Yeah,
insecurity.
that's true. Yeah. And like, people comment on your videos saying like, oh, the most fucking like punchable quotes. Like, if I saw these people in real life, man, like it says some shit like, bro thinks he's smart, skull emoji or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Bro thinks he knows what he's doing, laughing, crying face emoji times 3. Like, fuck off, bro.
Like, like you said, let's see you sit on this podcast and actually talk.
Oh,
some
for real,
intellectual
man.
Shit.
Yeah, bro.
You couldn't.
That's another thing that I realized that has just completely like solidified my mental fortitude is haters and comments.
Yes.
TikTok, bro. If you're looking to have like a fucking seamless mental health, like in terms of like people not being able to fucking affect you, make a viral TikTok video and say something controversial.
Yes,
You're in for a fucking ride, mate.
TikTok's the worst, bro.
And just in terms of YouTube, bro, I think I've legitimately read every single comment I've like received because I get a
That's pretty
notification.
fucked up.
But I know I have too much time on my hands, but I'll just like scroll at night, just seeing like ones worth replying to, and I'll even go into like the show offensive like hidden comments tab,
Jesus
and like people just fucking unloading, dude. I had some guy say call me like a faggot or something because I got like a chin implant or something like that. Why didn't you get a chin? Why did you go ahead and get a chin implant?
Yeah.
You should have just gone to a fucking brothel like a real man. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are you
Like someone
kidding
saying
me,
you're wearing
dude?
skin
Like,
suits or some shit.
Literally, oh yes, bro. I have this one guy on my fucking comment section that literally is in my head. I'm in his head rent free, dude. I actually clicked on his little tab, just curious how many times he's commented on my videos.
Yeah.
And he's like commented like 68 times.
Jesus,
man.
Every single, no, I swear to God, bro. Wait, no, because literally like he is threatened by me because I make him feel insecure about himself for some reason. Because I'm
still subscribed.
I know I'm some random guy on YouTube, and for some reason he obsesses over me, which is a bit odd. And he comments on every single one of my videos saying some shit like, oh, nice this, bro. Too bad it's fake. Like, yeah, I'm just so fake, bro. Stop faking the deep voice, bro. The actor's up. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you got me.
Well,
Like,
I've had a few people say it to me in person. Like I think Indy said it. It's like, bro, he's got to be putting on that deep voice. I'm like, he'd have to be making a good.
everyone think I'm putting on a fucking voice?
Because it's a deep voice, but
But it doesn't sound fake.
How
No,
long have
but
you been
you-
making
you-
that for this many
No,
hours?
that's what I'm saying. You'd have to be doing it for putting a lot of fucking effort in. If you're doing it your whole time.
Can you
spent
please tell me, like someone here, how my voice sounds fake?
Okay, Roz, real voice reveal right now. This is your opportunity to
All
come
right,
out
you
clean.
Self-improvement. Do I just look like I don't have a deep voice or something? I look like a
I don't
twink
know.
or
It's
some
not.
shit.
It's
like,
not that crazy to be honest.
Yeah,
It's just
it's just a voice, man.
not the
Also,
average voice.
also the microphone when you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a really crispy mic.
Yeah, true.
It's go, very deep.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
But like, why, dude?
I don't know.
Like, hey,
The overarching is people will pick out anything, like anything just to hate.
yeah,
Like even when I just try to give out free value, no controversy, nothing. I just made a video. It was like my diet, this and this and this. This is literally my diet. If you want to follow it, this is it.
yeah.
No, surely I can't get hate on this. Someone's like, "Pixie twink, what do you know?" I'm like, what the fuck?
I remember I made a video of like my back transformation. I remember like the only comment I got in that video was shit back tattoo.
Yeah, like
I was like, that's not what I'm trying to show here. Like, I don't like.
People just hate for no reason, man.
Yeah.
Bro, even on my
TikTok.
on my fucking comment section, bro, I'm like striving to be like aesthetically perfect, right? Like just because I fucking want it. That's what all looks maxing is about. And then even like people will try and find like something wrong with me, but then they'll like make up things. Like that guy with the skin suit. He's saying like, "What the fuck? You got a skin suit on?"
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
They'll
bro,
literally make up shit.
what are you saying? Do I just put on like a fucking like some? I'll go into my fucking closet in the morning and I put on my Raws outfit. Like,
yeah, what the fuck?
You're just making up shit at this point just to make me
People
feel.
make up shit to hate. I've seen
Honestly.
it on my videos.
You could have like there's like stereo tested videos. You can make a
Oh,
skin
yeah.
so tested video.
Yeah, yeah, literally. It's fucking just like I just start like ripping off the skin and shit.
Like a fucking plug
Yeah.
into your chest. Just
Yeah.
melting.
Oh,
I always known he was a lizard, bro.
yeah, yeah, literally.
I want to get back to the topic of the video. So, a good
If you're on
enough.
self-improvement, people will hate. That's the message.
Yeah, if you're on self-improvement, people are gonna hate, and you just
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
yeah, you've got to fucking yeah, you just got to deal
got
with it.
fired up because the shit's fucking that makes
Yeah.
you crack up.
This is a good point to make. You guys on self-improvement, like no one's gonna don't expect people to be proud of you. You know, don't expect people to support you because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to.
You'll be
They don't
shocked.
care. And here's another thing: they don't actually give a fuck whether you're in that middle phase or whether you make it.
Yeah.
They'll actually hate you more when you make it
Yes, yeah.
because you know
Some people
don't.
out there.
Yes, the real ones, but that is rare. That is rare.
They'll act like they like you more when you've made it in that phase to get shit out of you, but they secretly hate you more because you've actually done something with your life and they haven't. When you're in the middle phase, just good luck, like getting getting any sympathy from anyone and just like getting any traction or whatever. You'll probably get like some people who think, oh yeah, this guy's probably going somewhere. Let me like just invest real quick and like send him like a positive comment so I can tag along when he's made it, sort of thing. But besides that, like,
that's a part of the game, but
yeah, of course, that's like life is a game, is it not?
yeah.
You know, so I don't really blame him, to be honest. Like it just is what it is. But yeah, man.
But also, if that demotivates you, don't let it because that's the price you pay for everything in life you do. You pay the price, literally anything. And I've come to this conclusion over the past couple of years. It's like literally anything you want, you will always pay the price. I don't care whether you think that or not. You'll find out. Always, you always do.
My advice, if you're gonna start self improvement or like anything really that's not normal, just don't tell anyone. That's what
Yeah.
I don't tell anyone anymore, and I find it better off because if I tell someone and they don't sound as excited as I am about it, it kind of demotivates me
Yeah.
in a way. Because I'm
But
like,
then
oh my
again,
God, it's not good.
you still want to be your true self.
Yeah, that too. But like, a lot of people just don't understand it, and so they don't really get it. So that
I guess there's like it brings me back to the when I was talking about the guy who wasn't saying who he really was to his girlfriend, and then I sort of just said to him like, "Have you explained to her how you feel?" And he said like, "Oh no." I'm like, well, good. If she breaks up with you, then that's a good thing because she hasn't fallen in love with you. She's fallen in love with the person that you've just conjured up. It's a similar thing to do with self-improvement. You kind of have to inevitably say to someone who you're friends with, yes, this is what I'm doing. If you accept it, I don't care. Like, is what it is. You just say what you're doing. Just be true to yourself. And also, like, maybe, like, in some, ulterior realm, they might actually tag along with you. Like, in a very rare circumstance... Yeah, in a very rare circumstance, like probably a 10% chance, they actually come along with you and that changes their life. So you can't really shut that down completely because if you do, then, like there's a ulterior matrix or parallel universe that you've just closed off that they could have just changed their life completely with.
Facts. Also, another one. Do you boys think self-improvement in its current state is cringe?
Pretty near.
The name.
The whole idea that there's this one self-improvement bubble is kind of cringe. I think every man should just strive to be better. I don't think it's like I'm on self-improvement.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, the label I think.
What you're,
The label's cringe.
What you're
The
really
label-
trying to say,
it is sort of necessary.
what you're really trying to say is that like self-improvement is just life. That's just like, that's literally, I don't even think about like the word self-improvement anymore. It doesn't exist to me. It's just life. It's how I live my life. But from people looking out and then looking into us, thinking like, what are these dickheads doing? They're like, wait, so you don't vape? Wait, you don't go out on the weekends and you stay home to edit videos. That's just like alien to them. Like delayed gratification. Like not having fun on the weekends is just like, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
But it's just how we live our lives. And
We have no life.
Yeah. But the only reason it's like, the only reason why I still use like the term self-improvement and put in this little bubble is because that's purely the niche of this podcast, of the personal brand. Otherwise, that would just be my way of life. And I wouldn't even, if I never heard about the concept of self-improvement, delayed gratification, whatever, I'm sure I would have just naturally fallen into it.
Well,
and I wouldn't have a word for it.
It's like we literally grew up that way anyway. It was
Exactly.
like if we were caught scrolling on our phones, or we didn't have internet for like 90% of our childhood. But if we were caught like fucking consuming or something, you were just screamed at, or you got called lazy. And it was always instilled in you: don't be fucking lazy, work hard. So whatever.
you go.
Yeah, don't be lazy, work hard, and just always be better. That was just instilled in us. So it always came naturally that we're going to be a self-improvement channel.
Yeah. I only just started realizing it like in my later teenage years. I'm like, I've got to give props to my dad because he fucking instilled that in us.
Do you boys think self-improvement can be toxic?
Just like masculinity can be toxic.
Well, like,
Do you think self-improvement telling
what do you mean
people-
toxic though?
Okay, so I've heard a lot of people debate this, or it's like the constant need to improve yourself all the time will just lead you in a bad mental state. The constant need to always just be better.
Oh yeah, so I think the only toxic part about it is when dudes think that they're just better than everyone because they're on self-improvement.
I've said this time and time again. There's a bell graph. You go, and you go up to
Just
here.
ego
right?
bell graph.
Yeah, ego bell graph.
Yeah.
You get like the tiniest bit of improvement. You get like above average in terms of the population, in terms of like what you're doing with your life. You become this big inflated balloon of like just egotism. If that's a word.
I'm the 1%.
Yeah.
No one only
then you get
1%
to-
does this.
Then you get to a point where you've improved so much
That's
where you
our
just
name.
become. Then you get to a point where you've improved so much where you just become humble and you're like, yeah, this is me. I'm better than everyone else, obviously. So
Yeah, that's
nah, obviously, that's not what I'm trying to say. Is
You
like,
get to a point where you're like, it's just a way of life, and you don't really notice anyone else. Like, that still sounds arrogant.
what I said was
Okay.
just to reaffirm what I said was sarcasm. But you get to a point where like you don't, you just live the way you do, and you don't think you're better than everyone else just because you live a certain way. Like people just live how they want to live, and that's it. You know?
Yeah, like it's like the same with even when we first started gym, we were like the gym rat, listen to hard style everywhere, eat protein bars all the time, and then we get to a stage where it's just what we do.
Yeah.
We just keep doing it. We just kind of just part of our life.
I want to bring this idea to you because I'm sort of stuck in this though. It's like, I think you'll all know the realistic answer because we're all pretty logical here. I used to debate this a lot with people. Like, do you think someone can actually be better than someone
Right,
else?
so here's my thing, right? So
let me cook
this is
this
why
one.
it's tricky to like say no to that. Like no one's better than anyone else. But if someone's not bettering themselves, you're bettering yourself. How can you not be better than them?
I think the area is grey, and the reason why is because there are certain things in life that people do. So like you can either be a F1 driver, you can be a golf player, you can be a self-improvement podcaster, insert here, right? You can't really be like a soccer player can't really be better than like a UFC fighter. Just
Exactly.
like Ronaldo can't be better than Conor McGregor. That's why they're good friends, right? Because they're the best in their own vicinity. So they respect each other, but they're not better than each other, right? I guess you can argue in terms of who makes the most money, but who really gives a shit? They're both fucking millionaires.
Yeah.
In terms of being better than someone, it can only really rely on if you're in that same niche as them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, let's say, for example, we'll get Hamza, right? Hamza is better than me in the self-improvement realm because he has more subscribers, he has more experience, he knows more what he's talking about, he has more of an idea. Whereas I'm better than Hamza in the looks maxing niche because I've made more progress and I know more about what I'm talking about than he does. So it just essentially means like you can't be a better human because like every life is, I guess, equal if you want to call it that. Like, politics will disagree with you because then they'll protect the president. Say like, Mr. President, and they'll like jump over them like a fucking bodyguard and try and save their life. So I guess the only time where a certain human life is not equal would definitely just be in politics. But then again, I don't see the president or the prime minister or any of these dickheads like important to me anyways because we can just replace them as well. Everyone's replaceable. You know, like, no matter who you are, if you're fucking, you know, if you work in Red Rooster, you're replaceable. If you're a self-improvement podcaster, you are replaceable. I think life's mission really should be to try and become as irreplaceable as possible. And that comes in terms of cementing your legacy in a certain niche. So if you're like Ronaldo or something, you're not replaceable because you're cemented in the, you know, the realm of soccer, and you're never going to be forgotten. Same with Messi, etc. So just try and strive to be the best you can possibly be in a niche, and then you're good.
Yeah, I think yeah, because unless you're talking about certain niches or certain topics, saying who is better is you're sort of arguing about semantics there. Because if there was one thing that would define if you were a better person was, are you a better morally person? Do you
That's what I was going to say before.
Do good things for people? Do you do good things for the world? Do you provide value to people? Or you're not just like a fucking sponge?
Yeah, how much value do you provide?
Time you would physically in every realm be a better person.
I think a lot of people just say that no one could be better than anyone else just to fit in. Like, honestly, that's pretty much the only reason. Because are you really going to argue that you are not better than someone who is fat, beats his dog, and fucking yells at his children or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, obviously you are.
He's better at that.
And also, would you say that, like, is there a reason why they televise some people's deaths and not others?
Yeah, but
it's like clearly everyone agrees there that they're better, then they're better.
Yeah, but
is that just because they've made more of an impact? It's like, who defines it?
So you get onto the fucking life of self-improvement, you become better, you level up your stats and everything, right? But you could be a cunt.
Yeah.
You are a worse person than someone who's just minding their own business, just being a nice person.
That's true. I mean,
you can be better at certain things, but like all around, I feel like you can't really compare it.
yeah.
Like
Like
someone
everyone,
can be you're better at editing than me, but all around, it's
Everyone
like,
is, like-
you can't really compare certain things.
this is such like a blue-pilled thing to say, but everyone's like a unique human in their own like right. You know what I mean? But
Then no one's special.
at the same time, like, I see a lot of people trying to, you know, play that moral compass and act like they're so morally virtuous and like, oh, look how much of a good person I am because I donate $1 to charity every time I get a frozen Coke at Macca's. It's like, no. Just because you do that doesn't mean you're a good person. Like, and we see this especially true on things like Twitter, where people will be cancelled for saying anything to do with politics, you know, gender, LGBTQ, fucking any insert controversial topic here, and they act like they need to have the right opinion on that matter, especially companies. Like, you know, you see, obviously, it's fucking hilarious. You see, like, the company for the USA, it's all rainbow flags. Then you see the Middle East one, nothing. And it's all to do with money at the end of the day. They don't actually care about morals or ethics. It's all just money. So, in terms of, you know, being a better person, the morals thing, I guess if you're a humble individual and you're just doing a nice thing for a stranger every single day, like you see, I don't know, like a stranger just brought their dog on the patio or something like that, and you've got like a treat in your pocket and you're like, this is a spare treat, I'll give it to this person's dog. Like something like that. That's a nice thing to do. No one gives a shit, but it's still nice, you know? So yeah, at the end of the day, like, I think just being a good person shouldn't ever be to prove to other people that you're a good person. It should more just to be to satisfy your own inner mental health and think like, yeah, like, I'm making a positive impact on the world. And, you know, like, that's good if you're someone who's, you know, like, doing something so small as to give like a dog a treat, or someone who's doing something massive, like holding a, you know, like hosting a event talking about entrepreneurship and how to, you know, escape the matrix. You know, it could be anything big or small. As long as you're a good person, then you're right.
Since I started to start trying to better myself and better my life, I've noticed I've just become a better person. I've genuinely, like, in my videos and in real life, I genuinely want to help people. Like, I actually do. Before, I probably couldn't say that, to be honest. Like, before, I was morally a worse person. I was much more selfish.
Yeah, like, at the end of the day, if you're someone who's satisfied with their own being, if you're not insecure, if you're secure within yourself, you're going to be a positive person. I know there's a certain guy at my gym in a position of power, I'm not going to disclose that information, that is insecure, you know, like, he's an insecure person and he arcs up to a lot of people and he's clearly not happy within himself, you know, so he projects that onto other people and he's a negative person as a result of that. So if you like / love yourself, you're going to like / love other people. Just like if you hate yourself, you're going to hate other people, because you will project the way you feel about yourself onto other people. It's just like when I was talking to a certain girl and I was tolerating like so much shit from her because she hated her own life and she told me about how much shit she was going through, etc. And I'm just being myself. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to tell her, like, yeah, you can get this through this, blah, blah, blah. And then by the result of me being nice, she projects her bad energy and bad feelings onto me and tells me that I'm the one doing everything wrong. And, you know, like, you don't want to be in life with a negative person. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky.
Yeah, that's facts. The people that are doing the best for themselves are always going to be the nicest people, the ones that actually want to do the best. It's just an energy thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
It's also like
that negative energy.
The hungry don't get fed. If you've heard that one before,
Hungry don't get fed.
it's pretty much how it works. It's like in
That's actually
every
facts,
social experiment ever, it's like the hungry don't get fed. When you have abundance of something like happiness or fulfillment, it just comes.
It keeps coming.
It's a magnet.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening. I think we'll wrap it up here, boys, because I'm fucking starving. But
You can save this value for other podcasts.
yeah, it's got tons of value to. I'll finish it off.
My shredded stomach.
The boys need burritos.
Boys need burritos. Boys need burritos. Make it into a shirt, merchandise. Anyway, so I think we'll agree that the self-improvement pillars would be what? Health, or let's say fitness, mindset, business, and relationships.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Facts. The one thing is like business. It's sort of a bit weird because it's only because of our society that's needed.
Yes, that's right.
It's so cemented in society that it's a pillar of becoming.
It's a pillar of becoming a man because it's kill or be killed. And I think you can correlate business in the old times to building an empire. And that's why I always say it's building an empire or building a kingdom because it's the same thing. At the end of the day, you're building something, you're creating something.
It's artificial, but it's
Because countries aren't really individualistic as they once were, you're kind of building your own country in terms of like a business. So whether you live in Australia, United Kingdom, Ireland, fucking anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Build your own business, build your own empire, and that's your own kingdom. And you recruit people around you like a team, like we've got here, and that's your own little kingdom, if you want to call it that. And I guess whatever country you're in, it doesn't fucking matter anymore, really. Like long gone are the days of King William the Fourth. Like no one gives a shit
mate.
about that.
It's gonna be me.
Exactly. Oh, well, there you go, King William. That's very true. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think business. It's just the word we use for it now, but it's pretty much just like an abundance of everything.
Yeah.
Like if you were to date it like way back, it'd just be like you were the caveman with the most rocks.
So that's a business. You
That
got a
was the
rock
business.
business.
You've got fuck tons of rocks, and everyone just wants your rock.
I think every bloke needs to fucking do something like that. Needs to create their own business or create their own
business, finance,
unless
just their own empire.
unless you're probably not watching this podcast unless you are somewhat fulfilled
Serving
waking
someone
up to
else.
serve someone else. I'm sorry, I can't normalize that shit
Nah.
in my own head. I just can't, bro. I can't fathom living your whole life fucking living by someone else's fucking terms.
I would
Come
rather
on. Actually, really.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this leniency
I
shit.
would
That's
only-
ridiculous.
I would rather just have my own little farm and be self-sustained.
Do
I
your
can't
own
think of
thing,
just
bro.
working for someone else.
It's also like if people like a certain job and it's something that is, you already have to be rich to start that business. I can understand that. If you like a job, it's like in your own. Yeah, I know you can't, but in someone who likes working a certain job, in their own mind, they are self-improved because they are doing what they want to do and they're happy.
You can put it on a smaller scale and just say, like, start your own trade business. Doesn't have to be some
Yeah.
fucking ultra mega successful crypto, it doesn't
Yeah,
fucking matter what you do.
crypto, just any big company. It
As
can
long as
be
you're
your own
making
thing.
profit off of something that you enjoy and is something that is a quote unquote purpose or mission in your own life, it
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter. As long as you enjoy it and you're making money off of it, all power to you, Mo.
Yeah,
That's
like
it.
if you want to go to uni for 4 years and become a surgeon, like that's pretty
I am a
self-improved
surgeon.
in my opinion. Like that's a good gig.
If that's actually what you want to do.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
genuinely what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you've sat there and you thought about it.
Yes.
Not just doing it because that's what you want to do.
Exactly, because you got told to do that.
Yeah. All right, boys, we'll wrap it up there. We could go on and on and on about this topic because that's like literally what we do. It's the whole self-improvement thing, if we were to put a label on it. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you got some value out of it because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, provide you guys value and then you come out of this podcast actually getting something out of it. That's the reason I started it, so you boys...
Dream, eh?
That's the dream. I feel like most podcasts aren't really doing that.
Also, if you actually look at the retention graphs, only like 1 or 2% people make it to this part. So if you've made it to this part, drop a comment. And let
If
us
you made it
know
to this
who
part,
the
you're
real one-
officially the 1%.
True.
So if you made it this...
1% of the
Actually, if you made it this far, drop 1% down below and I'll send you a free shaker cup.
if you skip to this part, don't you fucking do it.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing.
Anyway, boys, hope you enjoyed the episode. See you in the next one. Peace.